What line of work would you recommend for a skull?
Paperweights.
I think Dr. X-Ray will rather enjoy your services. You can see more of that honky stallion over at Ask Creepy Ponies.
How was the gig at the fish market? Terrible. What happened? They didn't appreciate how many times I dropped the bass.
Lionel has it rough and commutes to Canterlot quite often for work. She's trying to break into being a celebrity, but until then she can't quite afford her own place in Canterlot. That's why she's roommates with Octavia.
Yes, quite. You are
And according
hilarious.
to many people, shipmates.
Yep.
Well, I just going on the facts we definitely have.
You are hilarious, and we will quote everything you say.
This is not a quote from Plum Pony.
Ha! Take that, Internet!
Who's my darling foe? What's that?
What
What?
was your first pun ever? You.
I was telling puns before I had language. I'm that good. I wonder if I'll have the same level of patience as my mother for my own foals someday.
Have you ever met any of those pesky naysayers?
Yes, most of them are my neighbors.
What, were you expecting some hilarious setup and punchline for such an obvious pun?
Have you ever tried to look a bit gothic?
Even when I felt this sad, this isn't how I'd express it.
Yeah, when
Goth looks like an interesting hobby, but they tend to be a bit grumpy when they're dressed up in public. Why don't you go through all that effort to dress up and get together with people you know just to be grumpy?
so many puns, so little time. You should hang around sometime.
So, what's the wooden disc for? Some pony wants me to hang around.
Wow.
My friend Sandy is great with woodwork, and she's nice enough not to charge me for the little things. For the Tumblr question responses, you should check her out over at Ask Sandy Pony. In other news, it's 4 days until the anniversary of my adventures on Tumblr.
What are ya? A bunch of landlubbers?
You think your puns can stand in the face of Pirate Dash's massive sense of determination?
Well, between you and Power Dash, I think Tumblr Pun has all pundits we need.
Nope. We're landlubbers.
Oh, I didn't.
Face off. Pirate Dash occasionally sails into town to challenge me to a pun contest. Then the rum wears off, and she sails back to Berry Punch, await the results of the battle. You can check her out over at Ask Pirate Dash. And of course, a shout out to Chocolate Pony. So it's 3 days until the 1-year anniversary of the start of my adventures on Tumblr. Look forward to the answer to the question that you've all been asking.
Hi, Mother. Achoo!
Oh no, is that my cold from last week?
I didn't get your cold. I got my own cold. I don't plagiarize.
Melody is such a sweet filly. I'm glad she and Rubik are together. They really deserve each other. I help out at a farm when I'm not busy, and she reminds me of myself when I was that age. Speaking of age, it's 2 days until the anniversary of my adventures on Tumblr.
Ooh.
Oh.
How did you get your kitty mark?
Hey, Pun, why is your kitty mark a censor bleep when you tell puns? Nothing's bad about puns.
How do you get your kitty mark? is interesting.
What does your cutie mark mean?
How's an elevator question? How you describe the talent?
Have you
Shut
always
up!
have you always been punny, or did you develop it after you figured out how fun puns were?
What's the story behind your kitty mark?
How many pungent puns have you got stockpiled? By the by, what is with your cutie mark? Or are you too consensorative about it to tell?
Why is your kitty mark a straight line?
This may have been answered, but if so, I can't find it. What is your cutie mark? It looks kind of like a censored bar. I'm just certain that there's an excellent piece of wordplay I haven't figured out yet in there somewhere.
What did you do to earn your kitty mark?
How did you get your cutie mark? It seems very vague.
Hi, Pun. How did you get your kitty mark?
What was your first pun that got you your cutie mark?
So, how did you ever vet your kitty mark in the first place?
That is your cutie mark.
How did you discover your talent for puns?
Wow. So many questions about my cutie mark.
Yeah.
You really want to know my story? Want to know? I'll tell you my story. Once upon a time,
To be continued.
Since you're also curious, tune in tomorrow for the origin of my cutie mark. On the 1-year anniversary of my adventures on Tumblr. Maybe now I'll stop getting the question every other day.
What was that?
Nothing.
Okay.
you don't want to know. Because 7, 8, 9.
That's enough, pun. One more line and you'll have detention.
Bless you.
Sorry. Pun, what kind of cutie mark is that?
It's a one-liner. Totally worthless.
And that, everybody, is how I got my cutie mark. Thank you all for a great year of Ask Pun, and here's to another year of groans and face wolves.
I expected something bigger, but okay.
What puntentionally is your favorite plant? I'm an herbologist, and I might have what you're looking for.
What's your favorite fruit?
Kumquats.
It's a pretty funny fruit. Never had one.
It's just a funny word. My co-star today is a flavor of Pinkie Pie that is focusing on our cooking skills. After all, it's not a party without good food. If you'd like some free samples, go check her out over at Pinkie Pie's Kitchen.
Yum. Okay, we can skip this one. What's that on your face?
Yeah.
I think that's
It's my nose, silly!
What's your favorite number?
the square root of -1 because even mathematicians need to use their imagination.
Next page.
Dex forgot to read his part.
Yes, it's good.
Have you made any pranks jokes that made someone squirt milk out of their snouts?
Gray's Anatomy.
Earth pony physiology.
Nasal cavity? Mammary glands. I don't think that's going to happen.
Not every pony is as malleable as Pinkie Pie. Can you recognize that pony in the anatomy book? It's Milky Way, the milk mare of Trottingham. You should go check her out over at Life in the Milky Way in SFW.
Ooh, yes, very much so, dude. What do you think of my costume?
Is it daring do?
I'm an adventure capitalist.
Ha ha! My cousin Marigold is always a business pony. Her humor tends to revolve around financial and business terms. Humor doesn't exactly run in the family, but I've managed to influence her since moving to Ponyville.
Well, this says that a pun is the lowest form of comedy. Only if you didn't think of it first.
Twilight tries to justify her stance on a lot of issues with quotes from books, which doesn't work well against somebody who can counterpoint on the spot. Doo-doo. Yeah! Yeah! Changelings are a significant threat to their ability to imitate ponies. Well, most ponies. Pun, do you hate me? Rainbow
Why would I
Dash.
hate Rainbow Dash? Among that group of ponies, she has caused the least amount of drama and destruction.
Yeah, you could argue about that one.
Yeah.
I mean, Fluttershy? I guess the Parasprites are technically her fault in some way, but... So Rainbow Dash was a bit annoying for a while during that Mare-Duel incident. I've been known to be annoying from time to time as well. Otherwise, she's a rather productive member of the Weather Patrol.
Beer?
Believe it or not, we do have beer in Equestria, though wine is far more common. Cider is still the preferred drink of socializing, since it just makes you feel silly while alcohol makes you do silly things.
Why do ponies act silly on cider? Because it's socially acceptable to do so. Pun, why are there 2,000 pounds of bones in my office?
I got you a skeleton.
I rented the bones and had to put down a large calcium deposit. Let's get the recruitment video.
Sakura.
Zakura maintains a certain alchemical supply cache. Is located near the edge of town for the Night Guard. She's also the referee for pony sporting events, since she doesn't need a special vest.
Zakura's talent with rhyming is as intuitive as my jokes. I'm not sure either of us can turn it off.
The day after Hearts and Hooves Day is also a special day. Super discount Heart Candy Day.
That's what I go for.
Me too.
Lovelace runs the chocolate shop in Ponyville, and she's crazy busy the week before Hearts and Hooves Day. If you've got a sweet tooth, you can't go wrong with checking her out at Ask Lovelace.
Runs up to kisses your cheek and throws gummies at you, then runs away giggling. Ha 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 ha.
Smooch.
What the? Gator attack.
Cute skater attack.
Seriously, Tumbo, you folks are weird. Knowing when ponies want to kiss my flank, they do it verbally. I don't even want to know what you did to clone Pinkie Pie's pet.
If you can't stand bad punctuation, then how do you stand the message that you get that look like they were written by lolcats?
Having 4 legs helped me stand those messages.
I have a leg or 2 up on the competition.
That last joke about insurance is pretty dark. Yeah, anything more light-hearted?
But they want to hear one. She said no. Final answer. The cardiac suggestion won't let me make a joke. The cardiac surgeon won't let me make a joke.
Though I get to visit the hospital to see my boyfriend, they do set limits on how far I can push my humor and use the facilities. Nurse Redheart is tasked with ensuring a lack of significant damage for my visits. The poor thing. You should see what else she has to put up with over at Nurse Redheart Answers.
Don't you worry about getting fat eating all that butter?
I don't get fat, I'm a Time Lord. Lord.
Time lard.
Time Lord. Lord. Time Lord.
The doctor has a certain love of butter, which has led to more than a few sticky situations. You can see more of the time-traveling butter lover at Ask Discorded Dr. Hooves.
Is it really appropriate reading material? The content is so immoral. There's no such thing as a moral or immoral book. Books are well written or badly written.
This is true.
Sometimes I don't need an instant rebuttal, instead rely on the material of my predecessors. This was a quote by Oscar Wilde from Picture of Dorian Gray. It may be a quote from over 100 years ago, but it still holds true.
I love that book. Anyway, good place to stop.